Well, on the prosecution, you can call your first witness.
The prosecution calls Officer Don John. Will you assume the witness has been sworn in?
Yes. And Mr. Fitzgerald, because of the weird angles in this room, I would just ask, there you go. I know it's unnatural to not look directly at the witness, but just make sure that you're kind of turned three quarters like that. Who's cross-examining, Officer John?
I am, Your Honor.
Can you switch seats real quick with your partner so that we can have you on the video?
Want me to angle towards the camera?
Huh?
Want me to angle towards the camera?
Yes, that would be great. Everybody's ready after this musical chairs, then you can go ahead and proceed.
Please introduce yourself to the jury.
Good afternoon. My name is Officer Don John.
What do you do for a living?
I'm a police officer in the 4th District.
What are your specific assignments?
I have a variety of different assignments. One of the assignments I take on more often than not is operating as an undercover police officer.
Where were you on December 6, 2020?
I was at the Shadow Bar.
And why were you at the Shadow Bar specifically?
We had received reports of, and just know this bar has a reputation as an undercover drug market.
While working undercover as the Shadow Bar, well, I guess, what were you doing? What was your exact undercover alias?
Sure. So I was assigned to essentially arrange a drug buy in order to try to catch drug dealer.
Like, what job were you doing? Like, what were you pretending to be as an undercover agent is what I'm asking.
Oh, a drug buyer.
Are you sure? Were you being a bartender that night?
Yes.
Right. All right. While working undercover as a bartender at the Shadow Bar, was there anyone in particular you had heard about in this area?
Yes, Doris Day.
Now, what did you heard about Doris Day?
Just that she, her reputation as a drug dealer.
Okay. Did you have an interaction with Doris Day on December 6th?
Yes, I did.
Can you tell us about that interaction?
Sure. I approached her and asked if she knew where I could get some cocaine, and she immediately, she said yes. She left or asked for $100, which I gave to her, and she left. And a few minutes later, came back with a packet of cocaine.
Okay. Let's stop just for a moment. I want to talk a bit more about this packet. Would you recognize this packet if you saw it today?
Yes.
Okay. Your Honor, I move to mark this photograph as Exhibit 1.
Okay.
I'm giving opposing counsel a copy. Would Your Honor like a copy as well? Your Honor, may I approach the witness with Exhibit 1? Officer John, do you recognize what I've just handed you?
Yes, I do.
What is it?
It is a picture of the packet of cocaine that I received from Doris Day on December 6th.
Is that a fair and accurate picture of the packet of cocaine you received that day?
Yes, it is.
Thank you. Officer, so once the defendant gave you this packet, and you can set it to the side, you mentioned that you gave something to her. What was it?
A $100 bill.
Okay. Now, would you recognize this $100 bill if you were to see it today?
Yes, I would.
Your Honor, permission to mark this photograph as Exhibit 2.
Granted.
Giving opposing counsel a copy. Would Your Honor also like a copy of this exhibit?
Yes, please.
I'm approaching the witness with a copy of Exhibit 2. Officer John, do you recognize what I've just handed you?
Yes.
What is it?
The picture of the $100 bill I received from Doris Day on December 6th.
Is it a fair and accurate depiction of the $100 bill that you gave Doris Day that day?
Yes.
Okay. Officer John, I'm going to ask you to do something for me. Just a second. I'm just going to step right over here to this whiteboard. But if you could, Officer John, could you read the serial number off this dollar bill? There should be one in the top left and the bottom right.
Sure. It's 77665544.
Stay still. I don't think so yet, but thank you. You can set that to the side. Was there any other significance about this $100 bill with this serial number?
Sure. So going into the week where we knew we'd be running this undercover operation at the Shadow Bar, we had prepared a series of $100 bills that we thought might be used in drug buys like this. And so we wrote down a list of those serial numbers for the $100 bills that we would be using in order to track them and connect them.
Did you personally write this list of the serial numbers?
I did.
Did you write it when it was fresh on your memory?
I did.
Is the knowledge that when you wrote it, was it accurate?
Yes, I was looking at the bills and the paper was next to me.
Understood. So can you recite the serial numbers off of this report that you wrote from memory?
No, I don't remember.
Your Honor, pursuant to 8035, at this point, I would just ask that the report he is referencing be read into the record. We are not offering it as an exhibit.
Any objection?
No objection, Your Honor.
Okay.
As long as it's not offered as evidence.
At this point, I'm just going to be giving opposing counsel a copy. Would Your Honor like a copy as well?
I'm okay.
I'm approaching the witness with a copy of this report. Officer John, if you could do me a favor, I'm just going to ask that you first read the sentence at the top. Read it out loud.
Out loud, okay. In connection with an ongoing, that's something. Right here.
Yes.
In connection with an ongoing drug investigation at the Shadow Bar, 10 $100 bills were marked with the following numbers.
I want you to do me a favor. I want you to read the first number on the list of serial numbers out loud.
Okay. 77665544.
And is that the same serial number of the $100 bill that you collected from the defendant that night?
Yes, it is.
Thank you. You can set that to the side. So you give her the $100 bill. She gives you the packet of the white powdered substance. Can you tell us what happened after that?
Sure. So a little while later into the night, me and a uniformed officer came to were at the Shadow Bar and arrested Ms. Day.
When you arrested Miss Day, what was found in her possession?
The $100 bill that I given her earlier tonight.
The same $100 bill.
Yes.
Thank you. No further questions.